As many of you know, I've taken a full week to immerse myself into the advanced studies of yoga through the Asheville Yoga Center. So my yoga practice began over 26 years ago initially, just as a supplement to my already rigorous fitness routine. It provided me with the stretch that I felt my body needed. It was nothing more than that for many years. I primarily practiced from home, as back then yoga studios weren't as numerous as they are today. Then I found hot yoga, also known as Bikram yoga, over 10 years ago. I love the detox effect I got from it, and I knew it was what my body needed. I transitioned from running and weight training to Pilates and yoga because they were better suited for my autoimmune condition. I found a way to balance my exercise regimen to get enough cardio, strength, and of course, flexibility. Fast forward to today, we now offer yoga teacher training at the 200-hour level. And with our increasing number of graduates, it was time to take the next step to offer the 500-hour training. I searched for the best program, and unfortunately, I didn't find one that I resonated with locally, so I had to look outside of Georgia. I really wanted to train in California or Boston, but it was not practical for me to do so. I did, however, find everything that I was looking for at the Asheville Yoga Center. So I did my Yoga Nidra intensive for 5 days, first of 11 modules of trainings I must attend. This was an immersion training with Indu Arora, who is considered a yoga guru with a degree in Doctor of Medicine in Alternative Medicine. You can find more information about her in the link below. I've dabbled in learning about various different alternative healing methods such as Qigong, Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, meditation, and energy medicine. But due to the lack of concrete scientific data, I always ended up pulling back. I'm in my 20th year of clinical practice, and one thing that I do know that most patients have in common is trauma and stress. In various clinical education courses such as visceral mobilizations and craniosacral therapy, we learned that our body at the cellular level holds on to memories and trauma. And unless such memories in the cells are released or dissolved, we create unnecessary negative energy within that can also have biochemical implications in our bodies to trigger and perpetuate various different pain and disease patterns. My close family and friends know I am highly type A. I can become obsessed with something so much so that I can drive myself to sickness. Lately, no matter how hard I tried, I could not get a grasp on myself. I felt my mind becoming crazed and fragmented with ever-growing to-do lists, so much so that I knew I needed a strong reset. To add to this, recently I've had several clinical cases where I could clearly see that the events which were triggered in my patient's disease were the stressful events in their lives, such as the death in the family, divorce, moving, changing jobs, and past traumas, etc. I can easily tell them to go seek a counselor and or try to apply the functional medical modalities. However, I knew I was missing something. Attending this intensive training was the best thing I can do for myself as well as for all our patients and clients. Most of us live our lives frazzled and fragmented with so much information and entertainment fighting and biting for our attention that we forget who we are. Even in identifying ourselves, we do so by saying we're someone's wife, a mom, someone's husband, daughter, or son. Most of us don't take the time to really get to know our true selves. We live day to day, fulfilling our duties as who we are to others. This being said, I realized many of my patients struggled with unresolved emotional traumas that continue to wreak havoc in their lives and health. And unless we bring awareness to who we truly are, we never resolve this inner conflict that creates so much negative vibration, which ultimately causes stress that of course can lead to disease. Remember, stress has biochemical consequences in our bodies and health. I recently wrote about a blog about this, which you can read below. But what I learned last week is that we can create physiological and emotional and spiritual resolutions by practicing Yoga Nidra. Meditation. For years, I've toyed with meditation, but my crazy and busy mind is constantly out of control, creating unnecessary reality, so much so I've given up on meditation. Then I tried various apps like Calm or Headspace that I realized I didn't want another person's voice supplicating my mind. I should be able to do this and master my own mind. So comes Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra, according to Wikipedia, is a yogic sleep or the state of consciousness between waking and sleeping, like going to sleep stage. It is a state in which the body is completely relaxed and the practitioner becomes systematically and increasingly aware of inner world by following a set of verbal instructions. It's hard to describe what something is without going into depths about the roots of Yoga Nidra. In the practice of yoga, there are 3 types of bodies. First is our physical body, our body of organs and our muscles, and it's practiced in asanas like the vinyasa yogas and such. And then there's the subtle body, our body of chakras or energy force within. Third is a causal body, our body of karma, thoughts, and emotions. Yoga is progression of asanas, which are poses, with its focus on the physical body, then the subtle body adding breath with movement, and then finally to the causal body to create a state of dissolution into the state of Yoga Nidra. I think many of us realize that we are crazed in our minds. Our minds are so fragmented and can create so much unnecessary worry, drama, and false perception, so much so that in some cases we can create disease. Yoga Nidra allows us to tune inward and quiet our minds to enter a state of Zen. It's considered a bridge between meditation and samadhi. Samadhi is a state of ultimate realization, a state of oneness and complete absorption. It's the final state of yoga. Our perceptions. Too many of us live our lives going through the motions every day without being present in the moment. We constantly create false perceptions of our world in our minds and try to place brackets around just about everything in our lives. For example, with Yoga Nidra, during the training, many of us wanted to know how to teach this exact method to our students. Our teacher said everyone tries to place a bracket around Yoga Nidra and wants the technique and or modalities on how, as opposed to letting things play out and sharing our own experience. And when we consider ourselves the teacher, we immediately place a bracket around ourselves that results in perceiving our students as those who are learning what we have to teach. Truth is, students are great teachers, and great teachers are great students. It's not about this or that, right or wrong. It's about being in the moment and allowing for the full experience. We are here, but not here. I can attest to this fact as frequently when my younger son fights for my attention, my mind is somewhere far. Although my physical body is with my son, he knows of my absence, and frankly, he deserves much more than that from me. Being present and mindful is an abstract concept. Too often, I don't think we think through the implications of our footprint in this world. So let's talk a little bit about imbalance. Our bodies crave homeostasis, and it's constantly working on our behalf to create balance within. When our minds are busy and fragmented, our vibrational frequencies are erratic and cause a negative biochemical cascade that disturbs this very balance. We should be aligned with with our body and mind, so much so that everything is in alignment: body, mind, and spirit. So yoga is considered a way of life. It's become heavily physical here in the United States. So much emphasis on body contortion. Our yoga practice causes our bodies to be out of sync physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We must move with breath. Bring awareness and mindfulness to our practice and translate our experience on the mat into all aspects of our lives off the mat. The practice of yoga, when taken to heart, will empower your body, mind, and soul to be in full alignment, so much so that you'll radiate healing vibrations. This healing vibration is so powerful, as our bodies inherently are much more intelligent than the most intelligent human being. Key is to tune in. So, Yoga Nidra. I will be sharing this sacred practice of Yoga Nidra with you at Alkaline Wellness Center, as well as on our online platforms for those who are not local. I believe this will be the healing practice that you've been waiting for. To me, it's much better than psychotherapy. I was fortunate enough to experience the benefits and plan to continue to further my trainings to bring healing and joy to you going forward. Please respond to this blog post and join the conversation on our website at alkalinewellness.com and lupusrebel.com so we can have a dialogue. Thank you so much. And again, you can subscribe to my channel at Dr. Connie Gian. Follow us on our Facebook pages, Alkaline Wellness and at Lupus Rebel, as well as our Instagram at Alkaline Wellness and at Lupus Rebel. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next week.